11 meteorologist Kim Castro. What a day, what an evening it still is. Beautiful holiday chill and cheer in the air. That's what I'm going to say all night long, because it really is such a pretty night and it feels so comfortable for more reasons than one. First of all, we're not dealing with any disruptions in terms of rain. It's been a dry, perfect day. Dry also in terms of the air and how it feels. Those dew points in the 40s, that's a measure of moisture. Anytime it's below 50, it means it is so comfortable outside. In fact, you might need a little chapstick and maybe some moisturizer because it's that dry. 53 is the current air temperature. This is already cooler than where we were yesterday by 8 degrees. Wind is calm. I mean, if you are bundled up, go for that evening stroll. It is going to be lovely, as was all of our Thanksgiving Day. In fact, it came close to being picture perfect. The normal, so the 30-year average, where we want to be, the sweet spot for Thanksgiving, well, we got really close to that. We're a little cooler, which I think no complaints. 65 was the official high temperature recorded at Bush at 3:56. 69 is the normal. 49 is the normal, and that's exactly where we woke up. So pretty perfect, and thankfully away from any records. The record heat 84, the record low 26. We don't really like to see extremes, so thankfully we didn't get any of those. We are staying nice and dry all the way through tomorrow, but then the moisture starts creeping back into the forecast for our Saturday. And not just in terms of humidity, but some of that moisture is going to get wrung out in the atmosphere as we do see a front approaching. So Thanksgiving is wrapping up. Now we're looking ahead as to when to travel back home. If you have family members that came into town and are looking to get out of here, Friday's a great day. Tomorrow is going to be lovely. Only a 20% chance for an isolated shower late night, so they're not going to have any issues. Saturday is not a good day to travel, and that is going to be across the state, really, from Dallas down to San Antonio, definitely pushing into Houston. Later on in the evening you go, the stronger the threat for storms will be. So I just say avoid Saturday if you can. Sunday, it's going to be so much better. Plus, you want to spend a little extra time with your family members, don't you? So beyond the early morning rain chance, this is mainly along the coast and it's only at 20%. Most of us are going to be sleeping, I think, by the time the rain wraps up. The rest of our Sunday looks great. Just a couple of clouds out there, but no rain. So here's what future track looks like. Tomorrow, you will notice a few clouds streaming in, but stays nice and dry. Most of your Black Friday holiday shopping should go on without a hitch. There's your late Friday 20% rain chance. This is mainly now going into the overnight hours, and there's not a lot to work with there. Some isolated showers for early Saturday. That's a day that I'm watching closely because we're getting close to the Chevron Marathon in January, and we have to do those really long Saturday runs, so we do not want to have the messy weather early Saturday. Luckily, I think a couple of sprinkles, a few isolated showers, we can work through that. What we don't want to work through is something like this, when the reflectivity starts ramping up a little bit. When I see the yellows, the oranges, the reds, that means we could get some heavy downpours and some thunderstorms. So that potential does start to build in the afternoon. That's a snapshot at 5:30, and it only goes up from there. We've got a front that's moving in, so the cluster of storms becomes organized around Bryan College Station at 9:30, starts dropping down to the I-10 corridor by midnight, and then continues on to the coast during the overnight hours. That's a snapshot of your 20% rain chance early Sunday, and then the rest of the day looks better. Clouds are going to slowly start to clear. Saturday comes with a warning. A few isolated storms could err on the strong to severe side. There could see some isolated wind, a small isolated spin up, and some hail possible, but it's the lowest threat. It's a 1 on the 1 to 5 scale. Saturday could also feature some issues traveling northeast. So if you are headed up closer towards Louisiana, you could encounter some of those same conditions. A flood risk is also in effect for our Saturday. It again is on the lower end. It's a 1 on the 1 to 4 scale, but it does include all of us. And so that means not only are we watching the potentials of strong storms, so we could definitely see a couple of areas gain some rain accumulation, which will make it just difficult to travel in general. So this is the snapshot of what we just talked about. No rain today, no rain for most of our Friday, 20% remember late night. Saturday is messy, you could see that from the snapshot, 80% chance for storms. Sunday for the most part looks good, and then looking ahead into next week, more storms back in the forecast. So let's look at the long range global model to show you the big picture across the state. Friday evening, messy for Dallas, for San Angelo, for Corpus. For us, it's pretty clear. Then those storms slowly start working into southeast Texas. Still a mess for the North Freeway down to Corpus. So that's why Saturday is not a good travel day for really anybody in the east portion of the state. Now, if you're traveling from the Panhandle or West Texas, you can certainly travel on Saturday, but you will want to wait till Sunday for things to clear here in southeast Texas. Widespread storms, some of them on the stronger side, possible for Saturday evening. Then we see the front clear by Sunday morning. Most of Sunday is looking good. Now, Monday, we not only get the return of rain, but we get some really cold air. So I'm thinking that most of the day is going to be spent in the 40s. Very, very chilly. Here's what's happening with these fronts that are moving in. Behind them, we've got some really cold air coming in from Canada. Yes, the coldest pool is going to settle into the Great Lakes and the plains. However, we do get some of that bitter cold air dropping into the Panhandle and sweeping through southeast Texas. So we do get a bit of a chill moving in, and a heads up, it's not out of the question to see the 30s as we head into the next few mornings for the upcoming work week. So Monday morning, I think the best chance for the 30s is going to be our far northern cities and counties closer to Bryan College Station. I think here within Harris County will be in the lower 40s. Now this particular model run has the 30s moving into Harris County, and notice I'll be watching the freeze line for College Station to Huntsville. So that is your heads up. It is about to get really, really cold. As you're out and about tomorrow, you might think, oh, this is pleasant. This is nice and chilly. Well, we got more of that coming. Black Friday forecast, though, looks absolutely comfortable. We're already at 53 degrees by 9. You will see some clouds throughout the day. That high temperature makes it up to 67. Our Saturday gets a little bit warmer. That's just the push of the humidity increasing and giving us that storm chance in the evening, back down to cold air behind that front. We're talking 40s on Sunday and only getting up to 52 degrees. By Monday, I told you most of the day is only going to be in the 40s. So we start off at 42 degrees. We max out at just 49. Tuesday, that could be the day when we get the 30s here in Houston. Bryan College Station area could get close to the freezing marker. And then we start to acclimate a little bit. So the air starts mixing in and we won't be as chilly as we head into the middle of the week. So we're looking at 40s Wednesday for the low and highs in the low 60s. By Thursday, we are back up to a seasonal for this time of year. So we'll be in the upper 60s. All right, I really hope you and your family are having a fantastic Thanksgiving holiday. Make sure you check back in with us for the latest travel updates. I do want to make sure that everybody gets back as pain-free as possible. We'll see you back here for the newscast at 10 p.m.